Hi there. Jennifer Elizabeth Masters here. I am a soul sculptor. I help you break out of the mold of past trauma and unsuccessful events so that you can live the life of your dreams. So today we're going to be talking about beliefs, but while I am working on a thing, I'm going to share this with a few people while you're kind of showing up. We're just going to talk about how beliefs affect you, and are you aware? Hi there, Angie. Hi, Star. Are you aware of the negative beliefs that you have? And when I say negative beliefs, I mean, those limiting beliefs. They could be, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'll never do that, it's not possible, I'm not enough. I mean, do you have any of those? Raise your hand. Okay, so if you can, that would be awesome if you could share this. I'm looking for it here on Facebook. Oh, no, that's not the one. Where the heck is it? Hi, Lisa. How are you? So how is everybody? I'd love to hear from you. Where the heck is it? Nope, it's not there. I can't seem to figure out Facebook. All right, if you're able to share it, that would be awesome. Thank you. I think I'll find it in a second. Where the heck is it? It's way down on the page. Unless it's just not showing up on my Facebook page, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I'll refresh it. Maybe that's why. Perfect timing. Wow. I love that. Nothing better than perfect timing. All right. So we've got a little bit of activity here in the bushes. I found it. I found it. Okay, hang on one second. There we go. All right, I apologize for this, but if I don't do this, then it doesn't get out to the people that need to get it. So I am doing this now. All right, so I'd love to hear what kind of self-sabotage you have going on, or what type of what type of issues you've got going on, because that's what we're talking about. And what I want to do actually is talk a little bit about, so where do these beliefs come from, and how old are we when we create them? The biggest one that most people have is that I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. Here's another one. I'm not lovable. I'll never be successful. I'll never have money. Let's see. What's another one? Oh, this one is rather interesting, because what it does is it actually stifles the throat chakra, not feeling important. And the way that one is formed, and we're going to talk about this is from 0 to 7 years old. So I want you to just think back, if you can, to that time when you were 0, newborn infant. I don't remember much of that. I have had glimpses, but kind of like movies in my mind, not as much as a memory. I can remember some things when I was about 3 and a bit, when my little brother was born. So just think back to those days when you were less than 7. When we are under 7, we have no consciousness. Can you imagine? There's no consciousness. There's no subconsciousness. So there's no background. You are a clean wiped, your chalkboard is cleanly wiped. It's like having your hard drive wiped. And that's actually what happens in between. So we go through life. I'm going to just give you a little journey here. We're born. We learn things as a child. We end up spending our lifetime overcoming the crap that happened in our childhood, overcoming. Hopefully, we get to a place of being happy before we die. That's the goal. And then we leave our body. And when we leave our body, though the slate is wiped clean, our memory board is totally wiped. There's nothing on it. So when we're born, our soul is already mature. It's not a baby soul. It's not a little tiny baby soul in that baby. No, it's an adult soul in the baby. And for some people, that's kind of hard to fathom, but think about the frustration of an infant. Think about it. It has a full-grown soul inside it, but it can't speak. It can't talk. It can't feed itself. Can you imagine the frustration that a soul must encounter when it first is born? It's a mature soul. It's been on the planet who knows how many hundreds or thousands of times, and then it comes back in a newborn baby. So as this newborn baby, our parents, they may be busy, they may be washing dishes, they may be cleaning, and somewhere along the way, they have given us the impression that we don't matter, that we aren't good enough, that we aren't important. And the way that one happens is, you know, we may be, mommy, you know, come see this, or come watch this, and mommy maybe has a newborn baby and maybe breastfeeding, or she's on the phone, or she's washing dishes or doing laundry. And so our mothers will give us the impression that we don't matter, that we're not enough, that whatever it is that we have going on isn't as important as what she's got going on. Now, that's not what she says, but this little blank slate that we have is just getting an impression. The impression that little blank slate gets is, mommy doesn't want to listen to me. Mommy doesn't have time for me. So I'm not important. I don't matter. But the baby matters. Baby's enough. What about me? Nobody listens to me. And even as an adult, this is a big one. Even as an adult, I've experienced this, where you may be in a conference and you ask 2 or 3 people, would you like to go to lunch? And they say no. And you feel like that little child that was rejected. Now, you have good self-esteem, but when 3 people in a row say no, the little self inside cries out, what about me? Aren't I important? So the unconscious self is the thing that we're unaware of. It comes up when we least expect it. So I'd love to hear if you have any questions about this so far. I'm going to just check and see what we've got here as far as comments. Okay. So beliefs. The way beliefs show up in our life is that because they're unconscious, we don't know that they're there. We may find that they surface, like I said, you know, we're asking a bunch of people out to lunch and everybody says no, and that little voice inside says, what about me? Aren't I good enough? So that's one way your body feels the hit. It could be, you know, when you have issues with money, that you feel like you're not good enough, or that you don't have the ability to manifest, and we all do. But the thing about the beliefs is that even though they're under the surface, they are what govern. So our thoughts, we think our thoughts, well, our brain is here, but I'm going to say something that's going to actually blow you away. So our mind, I mentioned this in a video last week, our mind is actually out here, the mind. So our brain is here, but we are part of this mass consciousness. And so our thoughts are magnetized with other like thoughts, birds of a feather. The thoughts flock together as well. So, and they stick, they're sticky. And so a couple of people that think the same thought, it becomes like a thought form, and it becomes weighted, heavy. And, if you are, in a group of people, for example, at, let's just say, a political rally, and people are shouting and screaming, and, there are thought forms created, and they stick together, and they get bigger, 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 bigger. And so that is how mass consciousness can just take off like a snowball rolling down a hill. The thoughts stick together. And here we are, we're drinking from this conscious soup out here. We're all part of this. Beliefs are what are actually, I think about the unconscious mind as the gut. That's where we feel. We tap into our bodies, in our guts. We have gut instinct. We have gut feelings. We feel those in our body, as opposed to thinking them. It's more of a feeling. And even when we think the thought, I want you to practice this. Let's just see. I want to do two things. So we're going to do a little experiment. Think a thought. Okay, close your eyes. Think a thought. I am beautiful. And just float that through the background of your mind. And take another deep breath and do it again. I am beautiful. Now, how does that feel in your body? Do you feel it in your shoulders? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your belly? Where are you feeling that I am beautiful? Take another deep breath. Now, I want you to think back to a time when you had a feeling, an experience, where the outer world showed you that you weren't good enough, that you weren't worthy. So just think of that thought and just say, I'm not enough. I can hear somebody say that's a sinking feeling. Is that how it related to you? It's a sinking feeling. It's heavy. So the thoughts about being loving, being awake, being golden and loved and secure and safe and manifesting our dreams, those are all, they're on the updraft. They're light, they're going upward in a spiral, and the ones that are negative we'll find are going down, and we feel them heavy, maybe heavy in our body, and they're not as comfortable. So I have several articles about beliefs, but I am doing a new thing. I'm working on this as a new, I don't know that it's going to be a giveaway, but I'm going to be doing like a series about beliefs. And so I wanted to, this is kind of like a whet your appetite on beliefs, because it's such a powerful subject. I'd like you to go home tonight, well, you're probably home now, and just write a couple of things that you believe about yourself to be true. And then write a list, so that it could be 2 or 3, it doesn't have to be a long list. And then, what are the beliefs that you would like to be true? What are the beliefs that you would like to instill in you? The positive beliefs. So we're going to, over the course of this next week, we're going to be working on getting rid of the negative beliefs. There's several different ways to do this. And so I'll be meeting with you tomorrow if this is a good time. I hope it is. I am glad to see you here. Does anybody have a question while I'm still here before I say goodnight? Okay. So I just want to reiterate that beliefs are not just a thought. A belief, oh, okay. Angela, that is really sad. Angie said, I was always told I was stupid. I can't get over that. I still feel that way sometimes. Okay, so Angie, I would like you to look back in time. When did that happen? Was it your brothers and sisters that were telling you that, or was it your parents? And did they really say that you were stupid, or did they say something else? So I want to make sure, and I want to hear what the story is. I really want to hear it. Let me see if I can. Hang on one second. Okay. That's a really tough one. Okay. Here's one. I'm going to share one with you. I was, in a family of boys, except for my mom, and the boys just seemed to excel at math. And when it came time for me to do math, I was terrified. I was afraid of numbers. I was afraid of times tables. I was afraid to stand up in front of the class, and this is what we did in 3rd grade. Hello. I think I got dive bombed. So I was in 3rd grade, Mrs. King's class, and she would put the times tables in a circle on the board, and we'd have to stand up and recite the times tables 1 through 12. And I could do some of them, but I was in such a state of anxiety about numbers and arithmetic and math. It terrified me. I would feel physically nauseous every time back then it was arithmetic. Every time the arithmetic books would come out, it made me just absolutely so anxious that I was nauseous. All right, let me see what else we've got here. Oh, my. Oh, Star. Oh. Okay, so we definitely need to work through that one. So, Star was told she was an accident and that her mother didn't want any more children. And so from the get-go, and I was told something similar, so I can relate. That's a really hard one. It's a really hard one. So just take a deep breath. So what I will say about that, Star, is that, we all have a divine purpose, and you wouldn't have come through if you weren't meant to be here. Now, I'm not saying it's been easy. I know it's been challenging. There's been lots of challenges. But my sense is that your name even, Star, that in the next 3 years, you're not going to recognize yourself, that you're going to be so transformed in way different ways than you ever imagined, and feel so much better about yourself in life. So I want to just shift this, okay? Because this is a little heavy, and I want you to feel better going to bed. I don't want to leave you like this. So let's do a little energy work. And I will gift this to you. Hang on a second. I'm going to have my tea is getting cold. I knew I was going to work on beliefs, but I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to turn out. And it's all divine. So what I'd like you to do is just take a deep breath and uncross anything that's crossed. And anybody that's within the sound of my voice and that hears me, if you would like to receive this clearing, just say, yes, I would like to receive this clearing. And so I'm connecting. My high self already knows, is connecting to your high self. The wind is starting to shift. The angels are here. Wow. They're in front. They're over here. Oh wow, hello. Okay, take a deep breath. I ask to connect to each and everyone's high self. I ask to work with radiant God on high. I ask to place a triple light shield, white light, golden light, and the violet flame around all of you. Protect you. keep you all safe. Just relax and unwind. So I'm just doing some little preliminary work here. Should be feeling a little lighter. So I'm just going to send you some energy. My hands are buzzing here. Okay. Whew. So you may feel a little tingling. You may feel a little sleepy. You may have difficulty saying your words. It's okay. Okay, just breathe. And you can say, I release all that no longer serves me. So I'm just clearing up your auric field, clearing out webs, cords, hooks, psychic hooks. Okay, let's unplug all cords and hooks, and let's cauterize them. Cut them all. Cut them with the golden scissors. Archangel Michael, if you want to use your silver scissors, have at it. Thank you, Archangel Michael. So I call forth your angels, guides, and team to assist. Ask for the darkness in your heart to be lifted, gently, easily, and effortlessly removed. I ask to move and release and unwind this belief of not being wanted. Not being wanted. Sigh, big sigh. So if you feel like you weren't wanted, if you feel like you were a mistake, if you feel like you were the wrong sex, or your mother didn't want you because you were a girl or a boy. Okay, my battery's gone. So let's eliminate all of that, clearing all the negativity. All right, and then, hang on 1 second. So let's clear this belief that you're stupid. Oh, wow, I can feel it. It's like a dagger in your heart. So just breathe through that. Just keep on breathing. Keep on breathing. So I want to clear anything related to not being good enough. We may have to do this a couple of different times, different ways. So I want to clear the mistakes. I ask to clear anyone feeling that we were unintelligent, dumb, stupid. Root of that issue. Not being enough. It's not being enough. Not being smart enough. Not being intelligent enough. It's not being enough. So I want to get to the root of that issue. Now, it wasn't that you were dumb. sometimes people say things that, they're not thinking. They're not thinking. And sometimes they're not said exactly like that. And I'm not saying that that wasn't said. But, parents do the best they can. They do the best they can. And remember, they are modeling after their parents' behavior. So let's wipe this clean. Wipe these negative beliefs clean. Clearing that belief that you're not good enough from the root. You can feel it in your abdomen, in your power center. And so what I want to do is crank up that power, see that sun in your solar plexus, that power center. Now, I don't want my battery to die on us, so let me just, how is everybody feeling? Are you feeling okay? Can you give me a thumbs up? Is everyone doing okay? Is there anyone crying? How are you all doing? Just keep breathing. So I want to clear any contracts. Cancel and burn any contracts that can't be cleared. Okay, thank you. All right. I just want to say that knowing about these beliefs, and we've just started to uncover these beliefs, knowing about these beliefs, do you see how they've impacted the things that you've done in life? Do you see how, if you don't feel like you're good enough, then, if you're with someone, if you're married to someone, you're going to look at them and go, well, they're not good enough. They're not good enough for me. They're not the right person for me. Because what happens is whatever we feel for ourselves, we turn it around and we project it onto everyone else as well. So we might have been with some perfectly good partners. I know I had one or two that were actually quite good, and yet I rejected them because I didn't feel good about me. And so when we don't feel good about us, we don't feel right with ourselves, then we turn it around and we blame them. It's got to be them why we don't feel good. I'm not saying that's true. Some relationships are abusive, but then at the same time I will say that we abuse ourselves, and so therefore our partners then turn it around, the same thing. So if we don't feel good enough about ourselves, we don't respect ourselves, we don't love ourselves, and then we feel worthless, and then the person that's viewing us, that's seeing us, receiving us, goes, oh, she's a worthless piece of doo-doo, right? That's what happens, because that's what we feel about ourselves. So we have got to change the thoughts that we think. It's funny, today I will say, I did something silly when I was driving, and I called myself darling. I didn't say, you idiot, you stupid idiot. I didn't do that. I said, darling, you turned the wrong way. And I was like, wow, that sounds and feels lovely. Can you imagine calling yourself darling? So treat yourself the way you want your lover to treat you. Say the words to yourself that you want your lover to say to you. Why not? It starts here, right? Because when we start to love and revere us as we are, right now, as we are, we find, others will too. So going to bed tonight, I'm just going to say, the last thing that you say to yourself or that you write in a journal is what is in the unconscious mind. It works the whole night through. So if you're going to do a script for your life, I am so happy and grateful now that I have a lovely, loving relationship that supports me and fulfills me. I'm so happy and grateful now that I love myself completely. I am so happy and grateful now that my health is amazing and vibrant. I'm so happy and grateful that I have the house, the car, the spouse that I dream of, whatever it is. So that's a way you could do it, or you could also just say what you're grateful for. Or you could affirm, I am loved, I am beautiful, I am radiant, I am a powerful creator, and just flow those through the background of your mind just before you fall asleep. It's what I do every single night before I fall asleep. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I would love for you to post any suggestions that you have, because tomorrow I'm going to meet you again, probably about the same time. I've got a client around dinner time. So after that, probably 6:30 to 7 my time, Pacific. I hope you've enjoyed this. So hang on, don't go away yet. I've got to finish you all off. So I'm asking for you, your auric field, to be filled with golden creator light. I ask for anything dark and negative to be lifted. I ask, let's see, your heart to be opened more fully, for you to feel lighter. Let's let go of anything dark and negative, any kind of suffering that you're in. Let's reduce any kind of inflammation and pain. I'm going to ask to send that into the center of the earth. Mother Earth can take it. She's wonderful. Okay, take a deep breath, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm sending you off with a beautiful blessing. I'm going to close with a Cascade of Miracles prayer. I love this prayer. So I ask Mother, Father, God for a cascade of miracles to surround each and every one of you in all areas, from your finances to your relationships to your health, and to the amount of joy that you experience on a daily basis. I ask for this cascade of miracles to continue as long as you are grateful. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being with me. I really appreciate you spending some time with me tonight. I really do appreciate your time. I know there are a lot of things that you could be doing, so thank you so much for being with me. I send you so much love. Mwah. Mwah. Good night, everyone.